Interestingly enough, though, our topic today is about women, but from a different perspective, right? It's about the health of women. And for those who knew me for many years now, that's something very close to my heart. And I will tell my guests why when we come back from the break. Yeah, from all the way from the US. From the US, where in the US you're from? Where in the US you're from? Huh? Atlanta. Yes. All the way from Atlanta. They're joining us today on Cloud9. We'll be right back.
But it's okay, because I got my own grace. I got my own grace. I don't need yours. I got my own. And I will not waste the grace of this day. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I refuse to leave any grace misappropriated.
You're now changing your question.
What I would say, Steve, is this.
My first question was, roll back the tape.
I made my debut for Crystal Palace against Tottenham Hotspur.
My responsibility was to get the ball and make things happen offensively.
In all the time we've played together, I've always been the decoy. Welcome to Field of Dreams on ACTN. My name is Steve David, and I'm your host.
Welcome to the new season of Football 101. I am your host, Joshua Matos.
Well, it's time for your weekly football news update. I love you, Messi.
Unfortunately,
hey, kiss the badge, kiss the badge. Oh, what's that?
welcome to this edition of the interview. And as you can see, I'm not alone on the set. I have Marcus, a Liverpool fan, and I have Shakir.
Whoa, na 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 na, yeah, Yo, this is J Prince, and you're looking at ACTN, The Voice. Stay locked. The blood of Jesus, oh, break every chain. Hey, the blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain. The blood of Jesus, break every chain.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACT, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says. I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. It's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice. You're watching ACTN The Voice.
All right, and welcome back to Cloud 9 on ACTN The Voice. We now go to our Let's Chat segment. Introduce our very special guest for this evening. Let's go. I've never had an easier task of introducing two guests at one time, so I don't have to remember their names because it's the same name. Let me welcome to you at this time, all the way from Atlanta. Is Atlanta, Georgia? Atlanta, Georgia, right? Get this, right? Coleman and Crump. You know, anyway. So what I need to find out now, gentlemen, who is Coleman? Good. So, Mr. Coleman, the co-founder of Global Director of Sales of Nspire Network, correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Crump, I didn't say Trump, right?
No.
Because I watch me, I think the eyes and piercing through the cameras already. Crump. Okay? Nice. Co-founder, Director of Training and Field Development of the same organization. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago. You all are here to promote something that's very, very close to my heart and very close to the people of TNT. I'll tell you why. Several years ago, hosted a show called Medical Matters, and because of the response of one guest we had on the show, Dr. Shireen Kalu, we were bombarded with calls from women more than men. Men have an issue when it comes to their health. We know that, right? They sometimes clam up, they don't want to check them. But women, they want to know. And we then developed a program called Women's Wednesday. And one thing that I've learned over the years in really listening to women speak about their health, we have to understand that women are incubators. And when you understand the concept of incubators in terms of their whole life, an incubator is something that you must take care of, and it must be always well sanitized and always, so you understand a woman's body, you understand the importance of it in terms of life and health and procreation. And you all are here in Trinidad and Tobago to promote a very important initiative in women's health. I want to really congratulate you all on coming to Trinidad and promoting it. But first, Nspire. Now it is spelled Nspire.
Yes, sir.
Nspire. Yeah, so very interesting. Tell us about the vision behind the name.
So the vision behind the name is to inspire men, women, and children all over the world. And we plan to do that through mission-driven products, mission-driven causes, and particularly now we know that's an awareness campaign that we launched to educate men, women, and children on the harmful and sometimes deadly side effects of traditional tampons and sanitary napkins.
And one of the other things with Nspire, we want the listeners to know is that you notice there's no I there, because in Nspire there's no I. We're a team, we're a family. So we decided to spell the word Nspire with no I in terms of naming the company and the corporation, because we're one unit. We move together.
Very interesting. Now, in terms of Trinidad and Tobago, why did you all decide to come to our country to promote this event?
Well, there was a phenomenal gentleman. We had the privilege of meeting Mr. Carlisle Holder over in the United States, and he knew a wonderful young lady over here, Rachel, who's been a great connector to your country. And we found out that what we deal with in terms of our Now We Know campaign, it's a global matter, because obviously wherever you have a woman, they have the potential challenge of what's out there and the tampons and sanitary napkins that's on the shelves. So not only did my partners and I decide to make a decision to bring the awareness, but we also help create a solution to the problem as well, to offer a better alternative than what's sitting on the shelves currently for our women.
Now, this whole issue of tampons, sanitary napkins, something that's not new. We've been hearing, but for some reason, it continues to be a problem that we grapple with in the world today. Still millions of dollars being made off of these products. Why has it been such a challenge, generally speaking?
Well, one of the reasons it's been a challenge is because of the lack of education. And that's why we're so proud of the Now We Know campaign, because it's a platform for us to educate, not just women, because as men, our responsibility is to provide and protect. And it's hard to fight something that you can't see. And so if you don't know some of the potential challenges that could be caused by these products, then how could you help, your daughter or your mom or your sister or your niece? So we believe the biggest challenge right now is education, and which is our focus.
And I really appreciate that, because I think sometimes we underestimate the role of a woman in our society, in our world today. We become so male-centered, and so in terms of the man as the head of the household and the man. But at the end of the day, the man came from a woman.
Yes.
So if we don't really truly embrace that, then therefore we're not able to actually have a continuation of the human race, and that's how serious it is, right? How long have you been here thus far in terms of Trinidad? You all came in when?
We got here yesterday.
And in terms of your discussions, who have you met with so far? What have you been hearing so far?
We've been meeting with several clergy here. We have some bishops, yesterday businessmen, promoters, different individuals in the customs arena. We had a phenomenal meeting last night at our hotel, and they had a nice banquet set up for us. So that way we can bring everybody on the same page. We had a phenomenal gathering of business owners today, where there was some Q&A. It was some, clearing the air, wanting to know what's going to be the mission, what's going to be the vision. We had some logistic people, some IT people there. So it was a phenomenal meeting in terms of the ground floor planning of launching this particular product and campaign in Trinidad and Tobago.
So this is not going to be a one-off thing. This is going to be something continuous that's going to be happening in Trinidad and Tobago, I gather, from your being here.
Yes, sir. So this was more of an investigative trip. Before we came to Trinidad with our agenda, we wanted to know how we could better serve. And the business model that we have, several companies have come before us. We did not want to make the same mistakes.
Tell us about this business model that you've brought to our shows. Let's hear more about it.
So along with the mission, we also want to impact Trinidad, Port of Spain, and Tobago. We want to impact the economy as well. And you're looking at a soon-to-be trillion-dollar industry, especially, with the millennials, who are the soon-to-be largest population on the planet. And when you look at some of the traditional companies out there in this industry, not only are they not providing the best type of product for consumers, they're making a fortune not doing it. And so we want to provide a healthier alternative, but also provide an option for those who are, business savvy or first-time entrepreneurs, businessmen and women like yourself, who just simply say, you know what, this makes sense. Not only can I get the word out, but I can also become profitable from a perpetual standpoint, because this is such a residual product.
Tell me more about the product itself.
Well, the product itself, and actually, if time permits, we have a demonstration here that we do. What we do is we do a side-by-side comparison to what's on the shelves in our particular product. And that's why the individuals that saw it last night, because it's one thing, it sounds like anything else, a sanitary napkin. I know about those. No. When individuals see our demonstration, they're blown away because we do an absorbency test. We do a test with 2 cups of water, and I was totally absorbed. We flip the cup over, and we literally turn the liquid to a solid. So it's almost sort of like a magic show for people. They're blown away by the concept and what it is that we do, and that shows right there our separation. And that's one thing we pride ourselves on is our demonstration, because when a person sees the demo, they get the vision. There were individuals that came last night, and they came back to the meeting today, and they honestly told us, they'd say, look, if I wouldn't have saw that demo, I probably wouldn't have come today, because they thought it was any other product that's on the shelf. I know about sanitary napkins. I have a daughter, but when they were able to see the demo, they saw the distance that we have between ourselves and the competitors out there.
Before we get to the demo, we have to take a break and just kind of set up, see how it works. Tell us about the pros and cons of, as I said, mentioned before, that we've heard of some of the disadvantages of some of these products, the dangers as well, the health factors, the health risk. But you are saying with your product, these things will be eliminated, basically.
Well, we're not going to eliminate. We're into more preventative.
Okay, understood.
And so we don't make any claims to heal or mitigate any type of ailment.
But prevent.
However, if you go online and you type in under WebMD, which is the most respected website for doctors, and you type in negative side effects of tampons and sanitary napkins, you're going to get articles and articles for a lot of the challenges that our women and children are having because of the use of these products.
And how and exactly what they're made out of and all of that.
Exactly. And you mentioned about a woman's reproductive system. Well, in the United States of America, there's more than 600,000 hysterectomies performed every single year. 70% of those hysterectomies are African American women. And so we see this as an epidemic. If you do your own due diligence, some studies have shown that tampons and sanitary napkins in some instances have been causes for some of these challenges.
So you're providing a safer option.
We're providing a safer option, yes sir.
Understood. All right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a very short break. We're going to try and see if we can set this demonstration up as best as we can. And then we're going to probably have a quick break again to bring on another guest from the group as we continue this very interesting program right here on women's health. Yes, this is a warning, but also a solution to many of our problems. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. It's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice. Connect with ACTN The Voice on Facebook or Instagram at ACTN The Voice.
Good evening, Trinidad. Welcome to another edition of Scoreboard here on ACTN. It's always a pleasure to be in your company every Tuesday evening between the hours of 8 and 9.
And if you will have the faith to go up, bring down, and build, this is what the Lord Almighty says: I am with you. And God is sending His word to you today, saying that the storm that I brought you through was to check your foundation. Don't waste your opportunity weeping over what you didn't do. Let's get building. We've got a kingdom to build, people. Let's get building. Now is the time.
You're watching ACTN, The Voice.
All right, welcome back. So Demon left the set. Hold on. Demon, wait, I got this. Demon Coleman, right? Yes, good. Demon Coleman left the set. Demon Crump is here. Right. And we have joining him. And before I go any further, I want to say to all the men out there, these are two real men that were here. There's some men afraid to go and buy tampons and stuff. Come on. Confident in who you are as a man.
That's right.
Anyway, so we move on. We are now on set with another member of the team. It's a very large team. Now, let me get his name properly. Rachel Guzman DeVloot. Nice. So we're going to have a demonstration here now, and I will let you all take it away.
Okay. One of the things we do, as we spoke about before the break, as you can see, it's on 75 milliliters. I want you to be able to see that. If your leaders can see, your listeners, followers, 75 milliliters. We're going to take it on a thinner, smaller pad, which is ours.
And it's actually called Cherish.
Cherish.
The product is Cherish.
Cherish is the name of the product. And what we do is we're going to put 75 milliliters here. Okay, so this is indicative of a woman's flow throughout the day, because we found out from many of the doctors that we've been associating with that many women, when they're having their feminine flow, they give off anywhere from 15 to 50 milliliters.
I like that term.
But we did
the feminine flow.
75. Now on a competitor, what I'm going to do is put 50. So I'm going to help this guy out, and I want you to validate it.
I'm going to validate. Hold on.
Sure we have 50.
All right.
So I put 25 more in this one.
Okay, so it's 50. All right.
All right, it's 50.
So yours, you put 75. That's okay. This is the competitor.
This is the competitor.
That could be
so I'm going to pour the entire 50 over here, right? And this right here is the big issue that many of our women face. Obviously, what we all expecting to happen is about to happen. And I could barely touch this, and you can see. Right. This is the issue here. So when women are coughing, when they're laughing, when they're standing up, their flow is flowing. Right. Their bodies was designed so that the flow can escape. But what's taking place now, because of the sanitary napkins poor absorbency system, when our women sit back down, everything that went out is now going back in.
Which is dangerous.
Very dangerous. So when you talk about their body being 98.6 degrees, and you have all the factors of the fluids of their body, then you have chemical makeup of the products that's on the shelf. Now you literally have basically a chemical soup cooking back to our women. Wow. And it's a danger zone. So it's basically a matter of time before a woman would eventually begin to face a challenge.
And then the thing is, I guess we could discuss this in more detail. What happens when you realize women go through so much different challenges as the years go on? They wonder, well, what happened? I've been taking care of myself all these years.
That's right.
Not knowing it may have contributed to.
Absolutely. And then our daughter take our product, and as you can see, I'm pressing, putting a little pressure. You ready?
He's pressing.
It's dry. Yes. It's dry.
It's totally dry.
Totally dry.
After 75 milliliters on a smaller, thinner pad.
Let me examine.
And as he's examining, I'm getting this set up. Examine.
Yes.
No, for real.
But then here's where it gets funny. This is really going to take you over the top. I have 2 cups of water here. This cup has the least amount of water. This one has the most. If I take their absorbency systems, and I'm going to place it in here, in the cup that has the least.
That's from the
competitor.
Right?
As you can see, it's nothing more than a trash bag. So now it's totally locked in. All of this process is locked into our women. But then when you take our product, right here, to Cherish, okay, we also have a negative ion strip in ours, which is infused with nano silver. It helps with women's pain. It helps with women's cramp. It helps with the smell, the aroma, all of these factors. If the viewers do their own independent research on negative ions, they'll discover the natural benefits that it have to the human body.
Amazing.
That's placed in there. And now once you take out our absorbency system, because we did theirs, remember how many milliliters did we pour?
People are commenting on Facebook. One lady saying his response is amazing.
Okay, but hold on here. 75 milliliters, 75 over here. But I want you to see something real quickly. Number one, I want you to take a look at our absorbency system. It has holes in it because we believe in breathability for our women. But if you notice, on this product, they had dye, that blue dye. So when this dye begins to fade, it gets into our women's bloodstream. But then what our exterior is still porous, unlike the trash bag. And basically, if you just do that, it comes apart. And we also have soft cotton fibers in it. But here's what your listeners, viewers need to see. Obviously, there's no absorbent in the thicker, longer pad after basically 10 hours, right?
Still there.
Okay, 50 milliliters. 75 milliliters on our pad, more water, and you can't get a drop out of here. Nothing. No, I'm going to do a favor for you, for the camera. We've turned the liquid to a solid.
Looks like a snow cone.
And it's
minus the syrup.
And it's nice and cool, so it can cool a woman's body off because her temperature is running. That's what it's done to the water. Totally absorbed it. So that's what it does as a woman flowing to keep her dry.
Yes, Miss Tony Strickland, I'm totally in shock. Yes, I am.
And this is the product that's coming.
Amazing. I think what... Put it back in the cup. Good. I think what's really amazing to me is the level of detail that you all took to make this product to reduce infections. You really did your studies. I mean, we're here to see it for ourselves. And that's the point, because you hear about, like in this country in particular, fibroids and in particular, and we deal with so many issues in this country, women, and many times they ask themselves, what did I do wrong? What happened? And it may have very well contributed, to what we're seeing here today.
Well, I'm so happy to partner with Ms. Rachel. She's formulating some training criteria and curriculum for the country. She's helping us launch this in a major way, giving us guidance in terms of the community and the success that we're going to have. And she's a big reason for us.
Can you tell us how you got involved? And I mean, what can we expect in this country? Because I know a lot of women who are looking at this from the feedback alone we're seeing here. Yes, I said like a snow cone. Yes, I did. All right, I did. Good. But please tell us how you got involved and what can we expect?
Okay. Hello, Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean region, and the wider world. Thank you for joining us. I got involved because Mr. Carlisle Holder, who was mentioned earlier, asked me to be a part of this team. And I considered, the role of the woman in society. My own experience is that after using a particular panty liner at one point in time, I noticed that I developed a heavy flow. And I had been to the doctors for years because it went from a heavy flow to menorrhagia, like the woman in the Bible with the issue of blood. And I did not know. I knew the point at which it happened, but I did not know, and the doctors did not know how to help. But nevertheless, this product spoke to my situation and my experience. And our women are so precious and often taken for granted because the woman in my opinion, is not just, there to be a housewife or a working mother. The woman and the girl should be treasured, should be cherished, because through a woman, we have life coming into this earth. The woman is the gateway to the earth. If you can pause and think about that. It is said that the earth is the cradle of civilization. I say it is the woman who is the cradle of civilization. And I am so happy to be a part of this project. I am so excited because what we are bringing to Trinidad and Tobago is knowledge. We as Christians know, and we as a people know that for the lack of knowledge, a people perish. And we see women suffering from menorrhagia, like I had, from fibroids, from ovarian cancer, from cysts, from so many other things, and they do not know what the root cause of it is. Wow. And we have had many testimonials where we cannot say, yes, this is a medical cure. We have had many testimonials about the benefits that women are receiving, even on our own team. Last night we heard one of our sisters say that she was scheduled for a hysterectomy, but since she had started using Cherish, and over a period of a few months, the doctor is baffled as to why her health is improving, and she no longer has to have a hysterectomy. So it is this serious. What we are going to be doing is engaging the women at large, and we are also going to work along with the Trinidad Youth Council and target the youth, and we are developing a curriculum which will inform our young people about menstrual health hygiene. Now, menstrual health, World Menstrual Health Day is coming up on May the 28th, and it is one of the targets that we have in mind to introduce this curriculum and celebrate our girls, celebrate our women, but to also transfer knowledge which can save lives and help them to be more comfortable at this time, because it is a time when, as women, we tend to be, achy, suffering from cramps. So many women miss work at this time. And, it's interesting that if you think of the cost to an employer or the loss of income to a household when a woman is suffering from all of these other ailments that are associated with the menstrual cycle, or as we say, the feminine flow. So we are here to cherish our women, and our product, Cherish, is designed to do just that.
I love the name of the product, and I love the example used with the issue of blood. Because what if we look at the background to that event in the Bible, she would have felt rejected, she would have felt abused, she would have felt dirty. And many women, even when they go through this now, because even of how people respond to it, they feel those same way, and they feel as though nothing. So added to that now, when you have complications, they're thinking, I'm not worthy anymore, that I'm broken. Yeah. So this is not a simple thing. And I think, God would have given you, of course, inspiration to do this. But what this does, it gives women hope. It makes them feel empowered in one way or the other, because, again, I like the part about it being, that whole aspect of ventilation and breathing. Yes. You have no idea how that in itself can somewhat, again, it's not about curing diseases, but it can lead to a healthier lifestyle for the woman.
That's correct.
And again, empowering them to do more, to be more active, to feel